Okay. So let me read. This is what Illuminati has to say, and she has not, in my, to my knowledge, she hasn't said anything about this since the she hasn't said anything about this since the video that she made addressing the allegations, or is that what she called it? No, I think she called the video Illuminati Exposed, right? So okay, so here's Blair writing. And it's the same thing that she wrote on her community page, right? Hello, everyone. I am fully aware of the recent false allegations. So that's the context that she's putting this in, that have surfaced. I want to take a moment to publicly state that I am taking these allegations seriously and I am committed to rectifying this situation promptly and appropriately. I understand the concerns and potential impact that these false allegations have caused. My team and I are actively working behind the scenes to gather all the relevant facts. I am committed to transparency and accountability through this process. Rest assured that I am taking decisive action to address the situation. I will provide updates and communicate any necessary actions as soon as possible. Thank you to those who are standing by me during this challenging time. I will not allow these false allegations, there we go again, false allegations, to be weaponized as a way to silence my voice. I appreciate your patience and understanding through this challenging time. I am dedicated to upholding my channel's values and delivering our commitments. I am confident that the truth will prevail. Sincerely, Blair is on. Okay. So, like I said before, like what do we look at to see how is it going, right? Well, okay, so there's more likes since I last checked, but the quote retweets are outpacing the likes, right? Now, that doesn't mean that every quote retweet is like, F you, Blair, you liar, right? But most of these are going to be, you know, the quote retweet is generally, that's the function that it serves, right? And to have more quote retweets than likes is kind of a rare thing in terms of Twitter, right? So in general, this says that this thread was not received well on Twitter. Yeah, for somebody as big as Blair is in terms of like what is she like on Twitter? Let's see, 47.3K followers and 328 likes, 345.9 thousand views, right? Only this many likes, only this many retweets, and all these quote retweets. Now, I would actually, it's funny because I would expect this to be higher. And if it's not, maybe it's just, I don't know. That's weird, right? Considering how many views it has, like, right? So there's a lot of people not really saying anything about this, but of the people who are responding, you got more people, ostensibly, or at least an equal number of people, that really have a problem with this than even deign to give it a like, right? Um, so yeah, internet anarchist, right, who has been in the news recently, from Aiden Ross trying to DMCA some of his content. Says you should have really have taken the Sunny V2 approach of ghosting the drama and continuing with the usual uploads. That is actually kind of what she did, right? And she was getting her butt kicked for doing that, right? So I don't know. That seems like I checked. Olay says that she is a movement lawyer, not a public defender. Okay, I didn't know that. Pat did a review of the iDubbbz apology that was good. Nice. So yeah, somebody ratioed. Yeah, that's kind of weird. They ratioed the thread and then they followed up, which, yeah, I mean, this is probably a pretty easy thread to ratio, honestly. Like this is not too hard of a degree of difficulty here, ratioing this thread, but it's an Attack on Titan meme. Yeah, and a blue check mark too. Yeah, I don't know about that, right? So this is what I mean. Like, there's a lot of people that are jumping on the, like, Illuminati is over crab rave, that are not good people. That being said, there's some stuff that Blair did that was legitimately not good, and I don't know how to, even get around that, right? Cooked. Okay, so that is, they're beating your ass in the QRTs. I'm sure they are. Goku Black. Why does Goku do Black? God, like the weebs. It's never good when the weebs get involved, right? I don't know. I admitted to being a freaking Dragon Ball fan. What is he even saying?
As much as you want, the pain will only make me stronger. Yes, you can hurt me as much as you want. The pain will only make me stronger.
Do you think she's Goku Black? No, I don't. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know why people are bringing Goku Black into this. Yeah. If you don't know, Goku Black is like a god from another universe that wishes to take like Goku's form, that switches bodies with Goku, and it is like evil, and like is doing all this stuff in another universe that then Goku gets blamed for. It's Zamasu. People know about Zamasu. Are we Zamasu pilled here? Are we yeah, like, I don't know. God, the whole Zamasu story, right? I actually like the, okay, I'll admit something about Dragon Ball Super. I like the Zamasu arc, right? Some people really disagree with me about this. Some people hated this. But I thought it was good. Mainly because, we got to see Trunks again. That was pretty cool. I feel like it kind of got ended a little like there. I don't know about the ending. I feel like the ending could have been better. But I mean, they're doing the power scaling thing. They're doing the thing where, like, Goku achieves a new form, and then Goku Black and then Zamasu achieve a new form. Oh yeah, why is Zamasu is Goku Black, but Zamasu's also fighting with Goku Black? That is because literally motherfucker Zamasu recruits himself from another timeline, like goes to another universe and recruits, or another timeline, and like recruits a version of himself. And one of the versions is like, I'm gonna wish for unlimited power by being Goku Black, by wishing to take Goku's body and switch bodies with Goku, right? And the other one is like, I want to be unkillable. So you've got the unkillable Zamasu, and you've got the unbeatable Goku Black, and they team up. They team up to basically end mortals, right? Not just humans, but like every creature. Like, so normally the gods are kind of like, taking care of the universes that are that the mortals inhabit, right? But Zamasu decides that the mortals are just complete POSs, and that the universe would be so much better if there were no mortals and the gods could just chill out and drink tea. And that's the plan, right? And he almost achieves it too. L plus ratio. There's a lot of people trying to ratio. It looks like only one person actually ratioed. Here's the weird thing about this, right? I would expect, like, so here, I guess this is the difference between Twitter and YouTube, right? Now, the overall consensus of Twitter towards this thread by Illuminaughtii is indeed negative, right? But, right? How negative is it? 350 quote retweets. Oh my god, I'm getting so Twitter. I'm being a Twitter freak, aren't I? Am I being a Twitter freak, chat? Oh, looks like an internet anarchist, without even trying to, also ratioed this. So 2 ratios, that meaning that these threads got more likes than the original, right? And then there's the other ratio by this Leaf person. But look, top ratio, only one that, oh look, it's now leet. Do you see this? The ratio just became leet. 1, 3, 3, 7. That is a leet ratio right there. So, or even a leaf ratio, if you will. Like, here's what's surprising to me. This is the biggest drama, I think, that's going on YouTube right now. How is the top ratio? Like, people don't care about this that much on Twitter. I'm kind of surprised about that, right? And it's not like people aren't seeing it, right? Because look at that, 350,000 views. People are seeing this, but you know, not that many are like, yeah, Blair, get him, and not that many are like, F you, Blair, you know, and even like the people that are getting behind this ratio, right? Only like 1,000, only 1,337, which is a pretty significant number, and it's actually a number that you can donate if you look at my donations. That's one of the options, right? I think we've got the option to donate $6.90 because 69, ha ha ha, $4.20 or $13.37 because those are the significant numbers according to Stream Elements. So yeah, I'm surprised at how little Twitter cares about this, huh? Interesting. I guess because most people who watch commentary channels don't have Twitter accounts. Yeah, because Twitter freaks. What's up, Polly? You get Esh ratioed on the daily. I got what? Like, let's see. I got ratioed by Vosh. Did Brianna Wu ratio me? I don't remember. Brianna might have ratioed me. I definitely got ratioed by SDL, right? I got ratioed by Destiny. Yeah, I got ratioed hard by Destiny. Yeah, those are my ratios. She can't ghost the allegations because she started it and was wrong, and she never apologized. Well, you could say that Sunny V2 started the allegations by saying that like that Chris being trans was harming Mr. Beast's channel, right? You know, you could say that Sunny V2 is in the same situation. So yeah, that is that. So like, yeah, I wanted to show you the Twitter thing. Now, I also want to show you. Let's take a look at this too. All right. So like I said, this is posted on her community post. This is also posted on her Twitter. Obviously, she got ratioed on Twitter. Not very hard, right? There's not that many people on Twitter that are, you know, tremendously interested, even though there are a decent amount of people that are like, I mean, it's not like nobody saw the thread, but like a lot of people just didn't seem to care one way or the other, right? Which is interesting because on YouTube, this is big drama right here. So look at this, iiluminaughtii, right? This is iilluminauttii's thread. 1K likes, more likes than comments. Normally, that's not surprising. That's what a post should have, more likes than comments. However, this is like the most hated person on YouTube right now. That's a little bit surprising. Now, understand this is iilluminauttii's home turf. People are less likely to you know, put disagreeing comments in on her community posts than they are on her videos. If you look at her videos, right, the videos here, let me just show you really quick. Let's take a look at a Blair video, the most recent video here. Scroll down here. I'm getting astounded that Blair is going to act like as if nothing happened. Reminder that Blair mistreated her employees. It's very satisfying when something about a person feels off and you only find out that they were shitty in the end after all. Remember when she showed her old friends blank note? Right, so these are, it's all hate. It's all like, you know, WTF, like right? So that's like on her videos, right? But when we look here at the community post, right, I was surprised by this. I was legitimately surprised to see that there were 1K likes, and when we look down at the okay, she needs a Phoenix Wright level plot twist for this to turn in her favor. Okay, that's negative. During these challenging times, so negative. Gotta love the fact that she's pushing these as false allegations, clown emoji. So yeah, there are a lot of people disagreeing with her, but like one thing I haven't seen on her videos is agreement, right? And you are gonna see some Blair stands here. Oh my god, I think that's this is some deep lore here. That was what Wonderstruck said. That was the inappropriate thing that Wonderstruck posted. So that's what they're saying there. If I were an animal for a day, I'd be a furry, and my favorite food would be okay. So that was the reason given for Wonderstruck being fired, was that Wonderstruck posted this somewhere on Reddit, and Blair was like, "This does not represent our collective. That's very bad. You're fired." Blair, just own up to your mistakes, because if you are proven if you prove that the allegations are false, it's going to be extremely good evidence, which we all know it's going to have to be extremely good evidence. We all know you don't have. So yeah, we're seeing negativity, but waiting for the corporate. This is the meme right here. Like people are saying they're waiting for Blair to do a corporate casket episode about herself, right? Silenced voice. You have a massive platform. Like this morning, I did see some positive comments, and that surprised me. No, this is like all negative. Like so at least people are saying that she's doubling down. Okay, so like here's what I'm seeing, I guess. Like the fact that you're seeing negative comments, like a slew of them in the beginning. Well, no, I don't even know how YouTube sorts these, right? Because it's not necessarily by the number of upvotes. Wait, how do you sort by newest? Let's try that. Okay, so there are some people, like, look at this. What happened? There are people that are fans of Blair that legitimately don't know, right? They're like, wait, there's drama? What's going on? You're a hypocrite. Tomatoes. Imagine. Okay. Can somebody explain this to me? Yeah, there was more people that just didn't know what was going on than I expected. And there were some people that were like, you know, fight the good fight, Blair. I am not seeing the fight the good fight comments anymore. So it looks like this is overwhelming. Hang in there, hun. Okay, hang in there, hun. There's a positive comment. Is anyone here a fan? I like her content. Yo, this is a fan, like not seeing any other fans in the thread. There's some Bible stuff. First come pride, then comes the fall. Okay, wow. Blair, those were not false allegations. Good luck. I wish the best for you. I keep getting recommended videos about you and this situation. Honestly, it's quite sickening to see people using this to benefit themselves. I hope you keep making content. So there we go. There's a positive comment in the wild, assuming this is not Doobie Schmertz. They do seem to be some Blair stands still standing. There's some people like, now look at this. This is interesting. Blair, we talked about this. Girl, you need to keep I want to keep watching. You do good work, but you have to own up to your actions. I know that it's hard to hold yourself accountable and to hear out what others are saying, but you must hear how your own actions affect other people and really take full accountability. So there's somebody that likes Blair's content, but is not buying what Blair is saying. Yeah, there's my favorite food would be ass. I think your work stands on its own. There's always two sides to every story, and none of us in the audience were actually there, so we have to judge by the evidence shared. People love to do love to trash and attack their rivals online. I believe a lot of us who subscribe to your channel are trying to be fair to both sides. Yeah, so like that is what's missing from Blair's from Blair's post, right? In here, it's all false allegations, right? And I just don't understand how you call the allegation that you put somebody's note about unaliving themselves in a video. I don't know how you call that a false allegation, right? Blair's admitted that the allegation of accusing a legal eagle of something that he blatantly is not guilty of is not a false allegation. So yeah, and people have also said that they're getting like PR vibes from this, right? You QRT'd Illuminati, but almost always ignore the ratio. Yeah, well, ratioing that thread would be like 350 likes. So yeah, and everybody, if you're not already following Polly people, Polly is one of the good ones. Polly is one of the realest people I know on this platform. I have no reservations in giving my endorsement to her and her content. So yeah, you should. I hope that fully aware of the recent allegation, she should have left the word false off that. Yeah. Well, and also like, look, I mean, what did she? Okay, so the only person that she really apologized to was Oz Media, right? In her video. And that's kind of striking because the person that she almost unambiguously owes some apology to is Wonderstruck. And like, like some of the stuff with the click, falls under the I'm not sure, or it looks bad for Illuminati, but I'd like to see a little bit more corroboration in terms of proving the veracity of when you're talking about a Discord screenshot, there's things that you can do to prove the veracity. That is, scrolling up and down, and taking a video rather than showing a screenshot, and also hovering over the icon in question to let us know that this is indeed Blair that was talking here, not somebody that cloned Blair, because cloning people on Discord happens a lot, right? So no, that doesn't, I'm not implying that like that the click was dishonest you know by that, but I just would have liked to see a little bit more proof. If Blair has any ability to come back from this on certain issues, and I think it's got to be on certain issues, like I don't see how you come back from showing the note of Wonderstruck, wanting to unalive, right? That's just like that needs to be an apology, right? I don't see like right, that one's like, I get there's no receipt that Blair could post to say, okay, that was okay, right? That's not okay. That's not okay. But as far as the I wanted to see, when I saw the click video, I kind of wanted to see, okay, does Blair deny that these are her screenshots? Right? Because if she doesn't deny that they're her screenshots, that's bad. All right. Those screenshots show her paying for dirt to be dug up on somebody. And they show her, oh my god, Shakespeare, thank you for the gift sub to Polly People. Here we go, indeed. Here we go, indeed. Polly, you just got a gift sub. You're saved from the ad break. She violated Wonder's policy on many levels. But like, yeah, please understand the context that I'm saying this in. Like, right, I'm trying not to jump to conclusions about some of the more like toxic charges that Click made. I'm not calling Click a liar. I'm not calling anybody a liar, right? And this sounds like a horrible situation for all those concerned. But I just don't want to jump to conclusions about, because the stuff that Click shows, some receipts for is horrible. If Illuminati can somehow falsify those receipts, if those receipts were not really her, right? Then the story kind of takes another turn, right? But it doesn't take another turn on every level. There's some messed up stuff that went on for sure. But like how messed up, that's what I'd like to see. And that was the first thing that I wanted to know when I saw Click's receipts, was like, does Blair deny this stuff? Because if Blair says, yeah, I paid $200 to get them to like find dirt on the Click, okay, that's messed up. Yeah, I went around and character assassinated the Click, like, through skullduggery. Yeah, that's really messed up. But like, that's the one thing that I'm kind of holding back on, because I've seen Discord stuff faked before. We all remember the situation with Shark making accusations against Bad Empanada that had no substance to them, and then Bad Empanada turning around with a fake screenshot of Shark supposedly admitting to something that wasn't really a tweet of his, right? So we've seen stuff like that faked before. That's why I kind of hold back before jumping on, believing anything outright or not. But yeah, regardless, it's hard to imagine what kind of receipts Illuminati would come back with to like prove her innocence, right? At this point, like and that's why it's disturbing to that we got false allegations, right? It does read like PR language. Understand the concerns and potential impacts of these false working actively between the scene to gather all relevant. Rest assured that I am taking decisive action to address the situation. Now, that's the closest thing she comes to saying that I want to make things right. And she didn't say I'm going to make things right. You can interpret that in any way. And giving the context of these are false allegations that have hurt me, right? Then you don't get the sense that she is going to take accountability, which some people, some of the fans that she still has, that's all they want. They want her to say, like, I'm sorry to the people I hurt, right? But yeah, again, like, if all of those click allegations, turn out to be true, if there's no like, denial of that those were her screenshots, then I don't know what to tell you. Like that's some cloak and dagger shit, right? That's some skullduggery. That's messed up shit. She hasn't admitted wrong yet. Yeah, the only well, she okay. Let me put that in proper context. She admitted wrong when it came to accusing Legal Eagle, but everything else, she's maintaining, that she was in the right on so far, right? Including the pretty clear, like, she summarized somebody else's documentary line for line into her own documentary. She did cite them in the she did admit that, or she put that as one of the sources in her description, right? But you can use look, if I watch like a video that Polly does, right? And that informs my video that I'm doing. Like, let's say Polly's covered a subject and I'm going to cover the subject, and I put Polly's video down in the description or in a Google document that's in the description or something like that, right? That's fine. But if Polly gave like a intro in the beginning of that, right? And you look at my intro and it's like line for line the same intro, I probably would have done better just clipping Polly, giving her intro and giving her credit that way, right? That way you're clear. This is Polly's, like, writing, right? If I take Polly's writing and I summarize it in my own words and don't put anything on screen to say, like, so Illuminati did have one thing on screen where she cited a source that was cited in the source that she summarized, right? She indicated that she used this source, but she didn't indicate that, like, basically line for line, this like bit of text had come from that, right? So that's the difference, right? And that's some accountability that she needs to take. That seems like it would be very easy, because if she wants to say, look, I got sloppy, I didn't realize that I was summarizing this line for line, like, right? That this was given to me as research by one of my researchers. And it turns out that, like, this is kind of like line for line from another thing, like, right? Now there's an issue where you got to say, look, I hired these researchers, I signed off of this, the buck stops here. But you can kind of say that, okay, well, she didn't mean to represent this stuff as being her own. She didn't realize that this was a line for line summary from another documentary. There's negligence. You got to take accountability for the negligence, but that you could say that maybe that's mitigated by, like, she could claim that there wasn't an intent to rip somebody off, right? But she's got to at least cop to the negligence, and she didn't do that. She's got to at least cop to the weird, like, plan to rent or to lease somebody a BMW who obviously does not have the money to be paying for a BMW, put him in a situation where he's reliant on her for transportation, for housing, etc., and he's also an employee. Like, right? This is some basic accountability that needs to take place, and there's nothing in this in this community post that indicates that she's taking accountability. To the contrary, she says false allegations. There may be some false allegations, but when you try to, like, lead with that, and there's no like acknowledgement given to the need to take accountability, then at the very least, what you're doing is wrapping up some stuff where you were where you were negligent, where you did some harm, wrapping it in the stuff where you were, where the allegations were false, right? So if there's a mix of false allegations and real stuff, like, she needs to say that. But, like, like people saying, this is like PR language, this is, and some people are even saying that this is like a slow walk, right? That what a PR team will do is they'll tell you to give vague, gestures to get people to maybe stop worrying about this, and then to kind of slow walk, be like, oh, it's forthcoming, and then maybe people forget about it. maybe people's attention spans wane, and nobody really cares at the end of the day. And like, I mean, this is the kind of, and so one wonders, right? Given Illuminati's like gigantic team in her production of videos, it is one of those team members a PR person, right? Is this stuff that like that's what people want, is authenticity and transparency, and this is not it, right? This is not it at all. We should develop our own intersectional leftist style citation manual. There we go. Yeah, because I mean, the one argument that she made about that, right, was that it is difficult to cite something in line because if you show text on screen, it's like less compelling than showing video on screen and reading text, and that's where she kind of that's her excuse for the thing that H Bomber guy pointed out, right, is that the text would have been distracting, right? And it's not that you have to show the text, it's that you know what she needed to do, I think, and this is me being really charitable, right? But assuming that this was a screw up on her research team, assuming that the person that she hired to do research, their research yielded this script, and essentially at this point, this is a person that she's hiring to do research and then write a script, right? She should have watched looked at the sources, right? If she'd watched that documentary, then she would have known that that not only was like this script inspired by the documentary, which is one thing, right? If you got some of the ideas of what's going on from watching the documentary, that's one thing. But if it's like line for line like that, right? That cannot become your script. I'm just gonna say it. That cannot become your script. That has to be either you taking, if you feel like that you are not gonna be able to say it better than the source said it, then you need to clip the source and you need to put the give credit them, right? And make sure you're not representing this as your own work, because the way that it went through, this looked like Blair's work. This looked like Blair's script, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It was written by somebody else who did a documentary on it, right? And like, while I can appreciate the complexity of dealing with the whole ass team that puts these things together, and that it's possible to do this negligently, like, yeah, accountability on that is a necessity. And what I feel like here is a best case scenario, Blair is trying to is going to falsify some of the allegations, and she might, like I said, there's some stuff that she might be able to say, like, this isn't true, here's the receipts, okay. But like when you put it like this, what you're doing is you're wrapping the stuff where you should take accountability in stuff where you can falsify the claims, right? And that's disingenuous. That's not authentic. That's not what people want to see. I don't know. This is looking bad. Smash that like button. 1,000-yard stare into the camera. Yes, thank you, Uncle Slayer. There are bits of sentences on the screen which implies to me that it came from somewhere else. Well, yeah, so it's not just the bits of the sentences, it's like the only thing that I saw on there was like that they had cited the I'm trying to remember what it was. The source that she used had cited something, and she did like put that as a citation straight up, right? I'm thinking she was hoping this was going to die out, and she's been bleeding subs every day. Yeah. She's been bleeding, lost over 100,000 subs. She was at what, 1.7K subs. She is now at 1.52 subs. We're talking about 180,000 subs have left her channel. Now that is not like a representative of all the people that she's lost, right? Because like there if you look at our views here, let's take a look at this. Okay, so here we go. That's a million views. So her last big video was Illuminati Exposed, right? Now prior to that, let's look at prior to that, right? These ones for sure I know are prior to that. 300,000, 300,000, 400,000, 200,000, 300,000. 300,000, 200,000, 500,000, 900,000, right? So this is her numbers before. Let's look at her numbers now. Now, understand that these videos have also had a longer time to get views, but most of your views come in the beginning. 62,000, 70,000, 80,000, 69,000, 114,000. Okay, so yeah, this does look like a decline, a pretty substantial decline. So there's more people maybe that are subs. They're not going to bother to unsub, but they're not going to watch her videos anymore. It's a huge subscriber count if you compare it to the viewership rather than the sub loss. I mean, for 580 videos, 1.5 million is a small amount of subs in relation to... Oh, okay. She had quotes for part of it. She also said that that part of it came from a script, that this info came from a documentary. Yeah, I mean, like, there was an acknowledgement that the documentary informed her video. It's just that, like, informing your video is different than, like, kind of cribbing, like, line for line. And like I said, there's some chance that she didn't know that that was done like that, that was, you know, not something that she was actively doing. But I don't know. I don't know. Look, I mean, like, I also think that, like, okay, so if we, let's see. Oh, I'm not going to be able to show you how frequent her content is, but just trust me when I say that for these kind of projects, like, these are coming way, way faster than than most of the, like, and these aren't, like, you know, these are like 30-minute video essays, right? So they're not ContraPoints, they're not philosophy tube, but they are pretty, you know, there's a lot of research that goes into here, there's a lot of script writing, there's a lot of editing that goes into here, and they're coming out really fast, right? It's something about the mentality of the way that this stuff is produced that might have put her in a position where, you know, and like, basically this degree of production, this speed of production, puts her in a place where she's unable to do things like what, you know, like, look at the script and then watch the videos that are the sources. Because if she had done that, I think she would have realized, wait a minute, this script isn't just inspired by this documentary. This script is the documentary, and I don't want to be reading that out and representing that, you know, without, you know, it's going to look like I'm representing somebody else's thoughts as my own, right? And that's, you know, a lot of what's going on here, right? And, you know, you could blame the platform. There are a lot of perverse incentives here, but at the end of the day, you know, the person whose name is on the door is iiluminaughtii, right? The person that is in charge of the team is iiluminaughtii. And, you know, there's gotta be, at the very least, some accountability here. The faster you produce something, the higher rate of error. That is just what happens. But still, she does have an entire team of people. If I say in her stream, NCC said blah, 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 and then paraphrase what you said, I wouldn't necessarily think I need it. Yeah, but that's you saying, like, right? So that's you making a video, right? And you said, and even then, like, there's a difference between summarizing what I said and, like, going line by line. And but then it, oh god, there is, like, something to what she's saying, right? That, like, a video essay is a different format than an academic paper, right? They're essays, right? So there's a relationship there. But, you know, this is entertainment. Or if you even want to say, go a step further, you could say edutainment. This is educational entertainment, right? And like, her main, you know, what she was hanging her hat on was the idea that a lot of text on screen isn't compelling entertainment. And if she wants to if she wants to get her message out there, which is an anti-MLM message, which is commendable. Yeah, MLMs, take advantage of people. Autism Speaks was the not so much an MLM, but a really nasty, like, ableist organization representing itself as an advocate for autistic people, when a lot of autistic people feel victimized and hurt and misrepresented by Autism Speaks. She's doing something good there, right? And her claim is that, like, in order to get that maximum reach, I can't always have stuff on screen, right? But that's where I feel like a clip from the video, right? If you're in a situation, right, it's just like an essay. If you're in a situation where somebody said it best, you can't possibly say it any better, and you need that paragraph, then you put that paragraph in line and you put the source right there underneath, right? As opposed to, what she did, which was, like, summarize the source line from line in her script, or at least that's how it was done. We don't know if it was her researchers, and then put the, like only kind of cite like one little little piece of that as coming from an external source, right? Whereas essentially the paragraph, came from another source. But I mean, I don't know, like, it seems like low-hanging fruit, right? And like, saying that was a mess up and that happened isn't that big of a deal. I don't know. It's just more, and I mean, like, on some degree, I understand it, especially given the nature of the commentary community, how much when they smell blood in the water, they're gonna go buck wild, and they're gonna go after somebody until there's somebody else to go after, right? Like, I appreciate that, but I just don't think that, like, need to read the script again, but I thought it was clear. I think decent YouTube etiquette would be just saying which documentary you watched, and then not cite it word for, yeah. I mean, that's probably what I would do, right? That or just, put that person's, like, little clip in there. She does clip people all the time. Now, this is a documentary, so maybe there was an issue of rights. Maybe she thought that she couldn't get rights to that. But oh my God, ending up in a situation where you're, like, summarizing line from line a source that you were worried about, like, the impinging on the, like, intellectual property of, and that's the reason that it wasn't included as a clip. That is I would not play. And this is the thing, is, like, she puts herself in a situation where, where she's pushing out so much content without being fully cognizant of where it's coming from, that like, she's legitimately got like legal liability. Like, I mean, in this case, it was H Bomber guy exposing her, right? Pointing out the line for line nature of the content, but it could have just as easily been the people that own the rights to that documentary, like, going forward with legal action against her, and that would have been messy. That is not a situation that she should risk getting into, right? And that's what kind of makes me lean towards, like, that this was negligence. But that being said, negligence is still, something you got to be accountable for. It's just, a degree of separation versus trying to get away with something. It wasn't exactly word for it. Well, you're right. It wasn't exactly word for word. It was summarized, right? And that is something that if I was, like, if I was a professor, like, right, and a student came in with something that, like I look at their paragraph and then I look at the source and I'm like, okay, so this line is pretty much saying the same thing as this line. This line is saying the same thing as this line. That's where I want to see at the end of the paragraph, at least, the source cited. And, like, right, so like, you got a paragraph full of 5 sentences, right? These 5 sentences correspond to like, 5 sentences in the source. And then what you need there is parentheses and the source, right? Now, if you just have that source in your bibliography, that's kind of what Blair did. So it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst, most flagrant case of plagiarism in, that's ever been done. But it is something that, you know, that does like need like an apology, does need some acknowledgement, right? It's yeah, it's akin to putting having something in your bibliography, but then like relying on a source for a paragraph and not citing it in at the end of, you know, in the parentheses. So yeah, I don't know. That being said, this isn't, you know, we're not holding people up to academic standards here, but you know, there should be some standard.